Welcome to the Beasts of the NFC East podcast. I am your host, Sean Gnitzcavich, with my co-host, Jeremy Goode. Jeremy Goode, what is good?
Exciting week, Sean. 2 days away from the draft. I think this is like you're able to get players for free, and
For free.
the potential's just on obviously not free, but like you get to pick them, and it's just a fun time, fun process. And you get to see where your team might be heading in the future and see how these guys fit going forward. So, really fun time.
Yes. I am so excited. This is our final mock draft. We are an NFC East podcast. We're going to be mocking a full 7 rounds for each of the NFC East teams. And today, since it's our final mock, we're going to do what we think is going to actually happen, the direction where you think these teams are going to go. I mean, nobody's perfect, but there's been a lot of, there's been years, Kayvon and Andrew, or Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal were two that I wanted at those 2 picks. We got them. Evan Neal, obviously, not the best. Wan'Dale Robinson was somebody who I was like, why the hell are we drafting Wan'Dale Robinson? But he's turned out to be somebody that I really like, and somebody who I wanted more. Sky Moore has turned out to be nothing but the best quarterback in the league. So,
right.
It's you're falling in love with these prospects. And also, I'm wearing this Infect shirt because these mock drafts, I feel like people are watching them to kind of figure out players, trying to see who other people think, and also for like confirmation bias, which we've learned from the commenters, and we're listening. We appreciate it, even the negative stuff. I mean, hey, talk shit. If you don't like the pick, tell us why you don't like it. If you do like the pick, tell us how great we are. But it's true. People are like looking for confirmation bias, and I know like Giants fans who want to go in 6 different directions with this first pick. It's there's JJ McCarthy to the Giants fan account. So like, that's their handle. Like, personally, I very much disagree, but yeah, I'm excited and I'm a little bit nervous. I feel like the JJ McCarthy to the Giants draft hype has died. I feel like the Drake May to the Giants draft hype has been like overwhelming the past couple days. I've also felt like it shifted. It went from like Drake May is obviously number two quarterback no matter what, and then Jaden Daniels came in, and now I feel like it's shifting back to Drake May being like consensus number 2. But but you never know. Like we all thought that Will Levis was going to go in the first round last year, maybe even the top 5 picks falls to the second round. So I'm curious to see where you think, especially some of these later round prospects, as we're getting close to the draft. I've been just like divulging myself into all these later round prospects. I find it like a cool name and or somebody's cool tape, and I look into it and I'm like, man, maybe that guy, that's who I want in the 4th. Like the fact that I have 4th round and like 5th round draft fantasies, like that is the time of the year it is right now. And I'm almost more excited for day 2 or day 3, but
yeah, it's
I don't
interesting.
want to keep you guys waiting. Any takes on the mock season?
Well, I would just like to say too, just to get it out there. Everybody got mad at me when I took a corner for the Eagles, even though this team needs a corner. Oh, news too. Isaiah Rodgers reinstated today. I don't know where he fits with this team, which is we'll try to figure it out. But good little buy to have there. I think he's really more inside corner as a slot guy, but I think the Eagles want to put him outside. We'll see. And you got mad when I took a corner in the first round, even though they need one. Worst passing defense in the NFL last year, basically. Yeah. You get mad at me for taking the wrong tackle, even though some of you want the tackle from Washington, Fontanu. I like him. He's good. He's 6'3", though, measured at the combine. And a lot of teams think he's going to be an elite center going forward.
Well, some people, he was like hyped up to be a guard, and then everybody went back like, no, he's great at tackle, like the way he plays.
No, I've seen there. Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams like him at center, which makes sense because if you could mold him as an elite center, we've seen what that could do for an offensive line. But oh my god, I just can't get anything right. And also, I'm trying to draft what I think the Eagles would do, not what I would necessarily do. What I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they like certain guys here and there, yada yada yada. So again, grain of salt kind of thing. I'm not in the Eagles building. I don't know everything, but I'm trying to base it off of what I think Howie would do and what's coming out of that camp.
And hey, even the number one beat writers for each team, they have no idea. Especially
That's
if you're a
true.
Giants beat reporter, each beat reporter must be getting fed different things from Joe Shane and inside guys. Because
Interesting.
as far as I know, we're going to be drafting Drake May, Rome Odunze, and JJ McCarthy at 6 as
Right.
of right now. So, I have no idea. So, with that being said, I think the people are ready. I think they're hungry. They're ready to get into this mock. I know I am.
Okay.
So,
I'm
are
too.
you ready for this?
I'm right. Let's
I'm
get into
excited.
it.
All right. Fast forward to April 25th, round 1. And starting the draft. All right, Caleb Williams. I think right here, we're Adam Peters, Washington Commanders. We talked about this last mock draft because at 2, I mean, it's polarizing. There's 2 picks here. It's going to be Drake May. It's going to be Jaden Daniels. I think the tea leaves, based on the offseason, in my opinion, they're going Jaden Daniels.
I agree. I don't change my opinion from last time. Sounds like you don't either, Sean. Dan Quinn needs a quarterback. Every head coach who becomes a head coach who can take a quarterback in the top 3, they're going to take a quarterback. Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Drake May. It'll be fun to see how Drake May does in his career, but I think Jaden Daniels is just better. And a lot of people think his ceiling can be still really, really high, which I think it can be. I think that we've seen a lot from him already and how much he improved from Arizona State to LSU under Brian Kelly. So for me, I don't think the ceiling is so high from here, but there are a lot of people who think it can be. So, 6, he has good size, but a little on the lighter side. I think he'll have to bulk up a little, but he's
6'4", 210.
Mm-hmm.
He's old. He's older too. Drake May hasn't had that time to. Jaden Daniels wasn't a first-round pick going into this season. Drake May was consensus based on what he can be. He misses those easy layups, which scares me. The fact that they have Marcus Mariota as their backup and they didn't retain Jacoby Brissett, who I think would be good if you did want Drake May. But Cliff Kingsbury falling in love with Kyler Murray back when he was in charge. You hear me?
It's a little spotty now. Not ideal. Let me see. All right, go. Oh, it's spotty. Yeah.
Okay. What I was getting at was that Kingsbury falling in love with running quarterback. The fact that Jaden Daniels, I feel like, could start week 1. I don't think you draft Drake May to sit behind Marcus Mariota because we saw Marcus Mariota in preseason last year. We've seen him over the
he's not
the fan base is going to be begging for that rookie quarterback, maybe even week 3. And I don't think Drake May is ready to do that his first year. I think he needs to develop. And I am curious about Drake May. I don't hate him. I love
he's an interesting prospect.
Runner. He has a great arm. He makes a lot of NFL ready throws, but I just feel like they're going Jaden Daniels.
I think accuracy is huge in today's NFL, and you have to be accurate. And if you're not accurate, you're not gonna ultimately play, but you're not gonna succeed. So I think Daniels is just more talented. And it hurts too because I think that it's a decent opportunity for Washington to really start new with this new regime, new GM, new head coach, new ownership, essentially, even though Harris and Magic have been there, I guess, for a year or so. But, they're getting their quarterback right now, and I think it's a decent option going forward.
Yeah. All right, so we're doing it. We're doing Jaden. I'm nervous. Oh, look how the draft has fallen. Well, I mean, this is easy. This is my dream pick. This is what I want. For everybody, I've said it a million times. My birthday is on the first day of the draft, and all I've wanted for my birthday is Rome Odunze, man. He is I talked about him before, but for people who haven't seen the past couple mocks, Rome Odunze, he has a 3% drop rate. He's one of the best contested catchers. He also was in the, I think, top 3 in and most balls caught down the field over 15 yards too. He's a deep threat. He's you're in the red zone. He's going to get that ball. He's like a 70-30 guy, doesn't drop balls. He's honestly if it was a Malik Neighbors Rome Odunze right here, which I was kind of scared it was going to be that because I know people will be pissed if I pick Rome, but I think it's a toss up. To me, it kind of reminds me of OBJ Mike Evans in that 2014 draft. And Rome Odunze here seems
literally size-wise.
Size-wise, play ability, like how they play. I don't think you can go wrong with Rome Odunze, and you can't go wrong with him. I want to hear if you
hear me out. Hear me out.
Yes,
I am actually warming. I'm warming to this pick. I don't think the value's amazing still. I get it though, if you're a Giants fan. The only thing I'm going to say is it seems like they're really into a quarterback. That's all. But I think obviously Rome Odunze is very talented. I get the pick. I get the need. I think the Giants have other needs too, but I could see it now more than before. So there you go.
I totally get that. But also, I don't know. I hope this JJ McCarthy stuff is smoke because I can see it and I fear it.
Yeah.
And I fear it.
Yes.
I mean, I think JJ McCarthy could be great. I wouldn't trade up for him, that's for sure. If we get him at 6, I'm going to try to find a way to be optimistic about it.
I know. You always do.
Yeah, I do. I get really pissed at what we end up doing, and then I'm just like, it's like Daniel Jones. It took me like 2 weeks to like be like, maybe you could be okay. But
I remember when it happened.
Oh yeah, it was pretty brutal. But we're going Rome, and we can move on from there because
okay.
I think he's also the most mocked player to the Giants, like consensus wise, and I hope that's the truth. We are at the Eagles pick here. Man, you guys missed out.
Yes. So here are a few notes that I'll make for everybody to understand. Wow, there's a lot of talent here.
Yeah, there is.
Sean, can you go up a few picks of players already taken at this point?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So stop right there.
Yep.
Seattle is a team that I think the Eagles could trade with, ultimately.
Yep.
Going up 6 spots. It'll cost you a little bit, but not too much. Bengals are another team. I also think that they could go after J.C. Latham because he can play guard apparently right away. Then you can move into tackle eventually. 22 to 18 shouldn't cost too much. You're going to have to give up a little bit, but I see that as a trade-up partner. So that's just trying to give you ideas. If Terrion Arnold's there at 15, maybe that's also something they would consider just because if he's quote-unquote dropping a little bit. I don't know, maybe 15 is also appropriate for it. I've seen higher too. So those are some things for Eagles fans to keep in mind. If this is a situation and we didn't trade up, those are just some names and some teams to think about. For the available guys here, I love Brian Thomas. So we're going to go up a little. I think I've really been pretty amazed at Amarius Mims and his highlights out of Georgia. Yeah. He doesn't have much of a sample size, although I think he has around 850 snaps in college, which I guess is, it's a season-ish.
I mean, he didn't play. He played a full season in 2022, but 2021, 9 games, 2023, 7 games. But what he can be, and as a prospect, I think Amarius Mims is a home run pick here. Also, he can sit behind lane too.
Very true. I'll be honest. I don't know if you could put him at guard right now. He would be a big guard. It's not great because I don't think the best value for the Eagles is to have someone who doesn't play right away. I think the talent and potential with him and Jeff Stoutland would be unbelievable. Age is great. I know with Fatanu with Washington, he's going to be 24, I think, in October, which is a bit of a bummer.
It's a lot of prospects in this draft that are really awesome that are just older because of the whole COVID situation.
But then at the same time with Fatanu, you could still start him at guard this year, et cetera, et cetera. So the age thing isn't as much of a concern.
He was already taken by the Rams.
I think if I would be cute with it too, if the Eagles didn't trade up, which I think they will in this situation again, I'd probably trade back a little. But again, you're kind of getting cute. I think I'll go with Mims here to the Eagles.
Yeah. All right. I like that too. And honestly, like, I don't know if the Bengals would trade out because I feel like they would enjoy JC.
Maybe. Yeah.
They have Troy Brown right now, but Troy Brown is, I think, only on a 1-year contract. So
yeah.
And like you said, they can push him into guard too. So Amarius Mims, there we go. Or Trent Brown, not Troy Brown. Cowboys on the clock. I think there's a guy here. This is honestly where I think they're going. Is Jackson?
Yeah, it's a lot of people think that too. I think I would agree. They have not been able to figure out how to solve the missing piece in Travis Frederick since he's left, I think, in 2020.
Well, I
So,
mean, Tyler Biadasz has been okay, and he got a good
okay.
bid from the Commanders. Yeah, he's not like top 5 center in the league, which I think
Right.
Jackson Powers-Johnson has that ability.
I would agree.
And
I
probably top
think
10 in
too,
his rookie year, he has that ability, like Tyler Linderbaum.
as much, yeah, seriously, it doesn't take much. And as much as I hate the Cowboys, I think that when they're most effective, it's where their offensive line is top 5 in the country, in the NFL. So I've seen a lot of mocks over the last week with that. I think it's a good pick. I think Mitchell is an interesting pick there for a receiver. Same with Brian Thomas as well. Like we've said before, I would go with Johnson.
Yeah. I think so too, and I think this is like where they will go because, like, really their biggest holes right now are left tackle for Tyron Smith and Tyler Biadasz center. Like I think, just for this year to recover, and then running back obviously, but you're not going there in the first.
You can figure something out. Yeah.
So Jackson Powers-Johnson. I think fans are happy with that. I don't think any Cowboys fans. Oh, you got one of the best center prospects of the past 10 years. Oh no, I got a center.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Commanders. This is always a fun one. I want to see. I'm sure Chop already went. Yes, to the Lions too. Chop, I think, is my ideal pick for them. And then Jordan Morgan's off the board too. I don't see it falling this way because those are the two guys.
Tackle,
Tyler Guyton. Yeah, tackle. Like you obviously go quarterback round 1, but I feel like round 2, and they have a bunch of picks. Like they could trade up if they're really loving one of these edge rushers that are falling or tackles that are falling, which I could see happening. Especially because you're trying to protect that quarterback, and tackle is still very much an area of need. Let's see here. I'm going to go. I feel like the edges are going to be, let's see, OT. I think can we also add edge and see what we're doing here? Yeah. They have later picks, and I feel like if they're going to go edge, I like Adisa Isaac, which is might be rich at this pick. And I like Jonah Ellis a lot too.
They're kind of in no man's land for a defensive end, it seems like, which maybe trade down if you're that in love with the idea of taking a defensive end early in the second round.
For the sake of this, where do you think without any trades here?
Well, they really can't go wrong with best available. That most teams can't. So let's look at the entire. Okay. I
mean, they could go Tyler Nubin. It's a rich for a safety pick here, but I mean, they did get rid of Cameron Curl. They have Tyler Rapp that they added in free agency. I think that's a 1 or 2 year deal, and I like Tyler Rapp. And then they also have Quan Martin, who they got in the second round of last year out of Illinois, who's kind of like a slot safety hybrid. I mean, Adisa isn't that far down, and I like him. I feel like he had the production as opposed to Chop Robinson, like relatively 9 sacks, not amazing, but in 13 games, not terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I feel like they need edge with one of these first picks, so I think I'm going to go Adisa Isaac. I don't like the way the board fell.
Yeah.
But if it falls this way, I think you can't go wrong here.
You can't go wrong with secondary with this team either. From secondary into not safety necessarily, cornerback wise.
No, cornerback for sure.
So
would they
some options there, but it depends. I mean, you got to get after the quarterback in the NFL today, and they're paid good money. So having someone
edge rushers are Dorrance Armstrong from the Cowboys, who honestly I like as like a edge 2-3,
not awful veteran.
Yeah, and then they have Dante Fowler, former first-round pick, who had like one good year, never really panned out, and then another former first-round pick that they signed at free agency for nothing because they've been garbage. All right, so we gotta the clock is ticking, man. I think we're almost out. Do you jump on the cornerback to get the cornerback that you want?
It's maybe again. It's not being the Washington's tough. Maybe they do go after Isaac because they need to get. It's there. Yeah, it's there, the position that they need to desperately replace after trading away Young and Montez Sweat. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like Jonah Ellis too, but I think Adisa Isaac is
Okay.
just a hair above. So we'll go Isaac there. All right, Washington back on the clock here, and I think let's see. So Tyler Nubin was taken. You really only lost Mikey Sandersill, but I think now we go the cornerback route, right?
Okay.
Now, right?
I think so. I don't think you can go wrong. Again, the idea is like doing smart. If you're drafting for need,
yes,
it's a need.
It's a need, and also I think these are all players that I'm comfortable taking at pick 40. Like, and it's Rakestraw. I really like. I like TJ.
I think Rakestraw's really intriguing.
I think we've done Rakestraw before, but I
think
he is probably the next one. Yeah, I think it's last at this pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like him. I mean, good coverage grade, great run defense grade. I feel like that's
which is very underrated. There's some guys like Nate Wiggins can't defend the run. It's not you don't have to be great at it necessarily, but if you're that bad, it's a concern as a cornerback, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And especially, you kind of need that because Emmanuel Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes also is definitely not a known tackling cornerback.
Someone who's also smaller and someone in the weight class wise smaller. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's still, only 190, but I like him.
Maybe both.
Pull the trigger. All right. Giants pick here, man.
There we go.
I've been thinking about this a lot, dude. And I know I took Max Melton last time that we did this. Michael Penix, if he fell to us in the second round, I'm a huge Michael Penix fan. I know there's a lot of Giants fans who are. I also know a lot of people that would stay away from it. Jaden Hicks had a top 30 visit with us. I really like him at the safety position. I feel like he's there's another safety, I believe. Javon Bullard, too, is also on the board. But I kind of like the versatility with Jaden Hicks.
Okay.
The run defense kind of scares me. I'm not going to lie. But
safety, it's a little different, though, because if they're, depending on their scheme, of course, but if they're, if he's a coverage guy, you can get away with it a little bit because they'll play on their defense being more of a spy.
And we have Jason Pinnock, I feel like, is kind of versatile, hard-hitting. Like, I know Wink used him in, like, some safety blitzes as well. Dane Belton has kind of been a ball hawk relatively in, like, a limited role. Nick McLeod's kind of like a cornerback safety hybrid. I just want to do a little Javon Bullard, dig into him real quick. Kind of the same there. Oh, man. I know that we met with Hicks. Like, he's in our top 30. I'm not certain on Javon Bullard, but you know what? I'm gonna go Jaden Hicks. Get mad at me if you want to, but you know what? I know that Shane Bowen, the Giants defensive coordinator, really loves his safeties, and I think that he would be very happy with a safety here. But damn it, dude. Honestly, Max, be honest, because we're doing what we think they're doing. Max Melton has also met with us, local Jersey guy. He's got the speed. He has the athletic score. He has the size. He's like 6'1", 200. Would you go safety here? Because it's kind of like it's a premium pick, or would you go cornerback?
I'd go for best player available, and I think cornerback is a more important position too than safety ultimately. So
that's what I'm thinking too. And dude, we desperately need another cornerback. I don't care. I'm just pulling up the cornerbacks real quick here. Oh, TJ Tampa's still here? Oh, man. That's who I don't know if he's there's a chance that he does fall here, but I love TJ Tampa.
I will say for you Giants fans, I like Robitussi a lot. You're in a situation, though, at 47 where both Ricky Pearsall, who I think both of us really like, is available, and, of course, Xavier Legette, too. So that's where, like, the value kind of gets, like, at 6. Now, I'm not saying Rome's not better than them right now.
No.
But, it's where it gets tough. I think there's a lot of good options for the Giants to take. Tampa's very solid at this point. it would be a
Yeah.
nice pick. So would Lasser too, and Max Melton picking up a little bit of Phillips. He's been gaining some steam, but
Andrew Phillips, he met with the Giants as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Tampa because honestly, if Tampa is available, I don't even care what. I think the Giants are meeting with people who they think are going to be there, but I feel like they would go with TJ Tampa here, who I think is a I feel like he could even be a first rounder. So TJ Tampa, you're a Giant. Oh, here you are. Here's the Eagles.
There we go. Pearsall, of course, is intriguing. The Eagles do need another receiver. They need a wide receiver 3, of course. It would be nice because they would get that receiver on a cheap deal because it's their rookie deal, essentially. So that counters Devontae's contract, AJ's contract. Apparently, they might have to extend AJ soon. That's what they're saying the last 24 hours in Philadelphia. They need to go cheaper at that position. So Pearsall is definitely intriguing because he's.
I like Pearsall too because, like, he can play the slot obviously, but he can be an X receiver too. I think people look at him as a white receiver. Like, look, 6'1", 200. He's great at contested catches as well. Like,
yes,
I like Pearsall.
He's intriguing. Let's see the rest of the board. Let's see what we got.
You want to see the whole board, or you want to see the wide receiver?
Nah, just the first. Yeah, that's just the first.
So I know that we've gotten Edgerrin Cooper a few times for the Eagles, and like with your first pick in the second round, would you get Edgerrin Cooper just to secure him? Like, because I think he's that good of a player.
Yeah, I think if you had to, sure. I think you'd have to do research and look around and see, okay, what could the Steelers do? What could the Rams do? Is anybody going to be really desperate and trade up for, between the Steelers and Rams to jump the Eagles? So that's something to consider. Let's see.
I just say this too because there's a lot of receivers that I think are going to be available at 53 as well.
I agree.
Edgerrin Cooper, I think he's a step above Junior Colson, who I believe is still on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just secure him there.
Listen,
that's my thinking. But it's you.
There's a lot of ways you could go. That's a safe way. We could take Cooper at 50 because secretly that would be my 53rd pick. Sure.
Yeah.
It just depends if the Eagles fall in love with a certain receiver, which maybe they do. It's probably not a great thing because when they fall in love with the receiver, it's Jalen Reagor or
that guy.
What's his name?
JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Thank you. So that's been bad. So we'll take Edgerrin Cooper.
That was no bueno. Dude, but to be fair, a lot of people also were in love with JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Even I, until he sucked. But he was intriguing. Edgerrin Cooper, I feel like linebacker is one of your biggest needs. So, and look, Ricky Pearsall is still here. All that talk. You did miss out on Xavier Legette, who I know you love.
Interesting. I do love him. It makes it easier. It makes it easier picking Pearsall here. So we'll take him with this pick. Yeah,
let's do it. And also, the Cowboys, just saying, also need a linebacker. Like, I know that their only linebacker was Kendricks, but he's 32. Leighton Vander Esch had to medically retire. Yep. I could see them trying to jump you. I know that you guys are always competitive in the whole NFC East. Like when you guys jumped in front of us to get Devonta Smith, and we traded back instead of drafting Micah Parsons, which was
we jumped.
we jumped
from Dallas to get Goddard too. So
to get Dallas Goddard.
And then
I remember that.
Dallas took CeeDee Lamb before us, which was that was so painful. But we're here now.
We're here now. So Dallas is on the clock.
Yes.
Oh man. So they went center. I feel like these guys could also go for a wide receiver too. Or I know that we gave them Jonathan Brooks before. Jonathan Brooks this time is taken. I do think that they might go there in the second round.
For sure.
But with him off the board, which is a possibility.
Yeah, let's see receive Corley.
Wide receiver. I love Malachi Corley.
I don't
know if he's somebody that Jerry Jones would particularly go after. Here, let's just go to wide receiver here. Yeah, it is. Oh, Xavier Worthy though, I could see him going after.
One to Austin, of course. I think that without trying to go into the brain of Jerry Jones, I think Xavier Worthy would be his pick. Texas guy, speedster. With the new rule change with kickoff returns, Worthy's a lot more intriguing in my opinion. Yeah.
And he's like, it's not like he's just a speedster. Like he has good route running in my opinion. Like he can run solid routes. He's not perfected, but like with his ability, obviously breaking the 40 record at what 421, 422, whatever. I mean, the only thing is that he's skinny as hell, but you put him on the outside, you have CD in the slot. You got Cooks on the outside too. Like that's a good little trio. Xavier Worthy, let's take him. I could see that happening too. All right. So I know that we went Ennis Rakestraw before. We got Adisa Isaac. Let's see best tackle.
Who was the other pick of the second round that they took?
Ennis Rakestraw and Adisa Isaac. Let's go to the tackles here.
I think they would go.
I know that I went Patrick Paul before.
Or Patrick Paul. I think one of those two.
I mean, I know some people like Brandon Coleman. I feel like Brandon Coleman, isn't he kind of, he has like guard versatility, right? Like he's somebody that, no, not really based on his size. Do you think you go Coleman though?
I think, again, it's one of those things where you got a lot of good options there. I honestly think Patrick Paul is intriguing. Roger Rosengarten too has gained a lot of steam lately. Shows you how stacked Washington was at their tackle.
And I know he had a rough championship game against Michigan, but I know that a lot of people rave about his athleticism and his recovery. I mean, I kind of like him.
I do too.
I like Patrick Paul because his brother's the backup guard on the Commanders, and I like that pairing. But I don't think.
Let's just take him for the last name. No, take him for the last name. Doesn't matter to me. Truth, like again, like one of the things like I'm trying to stress is like, it's more of the position. I don't like. It's tough to be like for me to compare Paul and Rosengarten in the third round. They're both really intriguing, so it could be either or, honestly.
All right. Rosengarten.
There it is.
Giants of the clock. And look who's number one on the board. The guy who I love in the third round, man. And the other guy who I love in the third round.
It's the same draft.
It's the same draft, man. Yes. Brandon Dorless, though, I spoke about it last time if you didn't see. Brandon Dorless out of Oregon reminds me of another defensive interior that was drafted in the third round, Kobe Turner, to the Rams last year. In his rookie year last year, he had 9.5 sacks. This guy, I know that he's kind of versatile, can move out to edge. I think that he'd be more defensive interior. Put him next to Dex, in between Kayvon and Brian Burns. Shane Bowen wants to rush 4, and this guy can rush. And with the depth on the Giants, which I've brought up before, Raheem Nunez-Nochez, he's more of a run stopper. Jordan Riley's a big beast. He's not going to really get that pass rush presence. And I know that like when we drafted him last year, it's because Andre Patterson, our defensive line coach, he's like, his tape looked like shit. He looked awful. But like I saw his physical traits and I want to develop him. Brandon Dorless, I think, is just ready to roll. Like I think he's going to be productive. I could see him having at least 6.5, 7 sacks his rookie year. Even if he's like only really on those pass rush. I mean, dude, he's like, look at how many sacks did he have? Oh, he had 4. That doesn't look as good, but I like his pass rush ability, and at least even just complimenting,
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying sounds good. In the third round, to get a defensive tackle gives you, what did you say, 7.5 sacks in a year, rookie year. That's amazing. That's an amazing pick.
Hey, I'll tell you what, BJ Hill was a third rounder for us back in 2018, and he had 5.5 sacks.
How did he turn out for his career?
He's been playing really good for the Bengals. But I'm actually going to go in a different direction because I think that there is a running back fall off. And I lived through the years of Orleans Darkwa and Paul Perkins. That's why I welcomed Saquon Barkley with open arms back in 2018 when everybody told me I was an idiot, and I totally get that because I am kind of an idiot. But I know a thing or two about football. I love Jalen Wright. I think he's explosive. I think it translates. Trey Benson, on the other hand, has met with the Giants. He's been linked with the Giants. And also, I think that he offers something that Jalen Wright doesn't. Like Jalen Wright was in that Josh Heupel offense. He rarely went against stacked boxes. All of the other running backs that we have are small. Like I said, Devin Singletary, 5'9". That guy, Miller, that we picked up from South Carolina, who ran like a 4.7. He's 5'8". And then you got Eric Gray, who we drafted in the 5th round last year, which I want him to get a shot too, but I'm not buying into something that I haven't seen. And he also sucks at pass blocking. But he's 5'9" too. So it's like Trey Benson, 6'1", 223. He has little tread on the tires. I think this would be a home run pick in the 3rd round. As much as I love Jalen Wright, I'm going Trey Benson.
So he backs up Saquon?
What do you mean he backs up Saquon? Wait, was that? No, there's a Giants pick.
Oh, yeah, it's a Giants pick.
Oh, I mean he follows up Saquon.
No. He backs him up, right?
He backs him up?
Yeah, for the Giants.
No, just Saquon's on the Eagles, okay, dude? That's why I did. This is why I ripped his head off. We already went over this. He's dead to me. He's dead to us.
Get old.
Still hurts, and I hate when you send me like video. Like I just, man. It's it hurts. Like I don't care. Like, do I think it was financially maybe a good decision? Maybe, but still hurts, man.
Maybe he locked in at a position that doesn't get paid. Love it. All right, what do we got? 78 Washington.
This is where I think they look at the wide receiver position.
I was going to say maybe playmaking for sure. Replace, like we said, Curtis Samuel, who did well for them in his career. Was always an intriguing prospect. With Carolina, I think Washington found good use for him, especially getting into the end zone. So, Walker.
I think Baker is my number 1 here, and I think it's a steal because he's like a true X. And you have Jahan Dotson in the slot, and then you have, also Terry McLaurin on the other side. I like Jahan.
Yeah, he was always intriguing at Alabama. He just couldn't cut the depth chart, which always seemed a little weird to me. But
he was with Jalen Waddle and Devonta Smith.
Yeah,
right?
But afterwards he had he had a year of Jameson Williams, John Mechie, and he could have been the 3rd. And then the year afterwards, I think he transferred when he could have been up. But who knows? Yeah, obviously he goes to Central Florida. Intriguing player.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I think a lot of people have been raising their stock on him, and I think if this wasn't as deep as a receiver class, he'd be a lock in the 2nd round. But getting them with their 2nd pick in the 3rd, I like it. I mean, he 1,100 yards this past season, 7 touchdowns, explosive, 10% drop rate. Don't love that, but I think yeah. But I think his route running,
And he'll also have a new quarterback throwing to him. So
those are true.
It's always kind of the best thing for a rookie quarterback to give them a toy in the draft kind of thing. Same year they're drafted. I think that's intriguing for Washington.
Like CJ Stroud telling them, "Hey, can you please get Tank Dell?" And look how that worked out.
That worked out pretty well.
I think that was the 3rd round too. But yeah, I mean, unless you like Devontae Walker.
Tomato. Again, it's like I'm sure someone's done more research about those two. The idea is receiver for me for Washington.
Oh, well, that's it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Washington. Let's do it. And guess what? Rank 78, average draft place 78, and we're at pick 78. So I think
there we go.
There we go. Cowboys. Okay, here we go. They didn't get their running back yet. Did they?
Ray Davis, of course, started off at Temple University, where Sean and myself went for college. And he's awesome. A lot of tread on his tires. Yeah. But so he transfers to Vanderbilt from Temple. Then he goes to Kentucky. Did really well at Kentucky. Had a nice career there. I think he's a little smaller. What is he, around 5'9"? Am I wrong on that?
5'10", 216. So, I mean, he's got good weight. So, height-wise, yeah. But, I mean, as a running back, you're 5'10", in that weight. I mean, you're condensed, short, which affects his overall speed, but a great center of gravity. See, that's what there. The 5'10", 216. That's what helps.
Yeah.
Good hands. I like him. I like Marshawn Lloyd a lot too, and I think that if he didn't have the injury history, he would be probably a higher draft pick. But that still kind of concerns me because they're looking for. I mean, they're looking for an RB1. Like, you're not going out there with Vaughn and Dowdle. I don't know. I also
I'm not sure
love Tyrone. I love Tyrone Tracy, dude. I love Tyrone Tracy. Do you know anything about? So he's only played.
I heard the name a little bit, but otherwise, yeah, not much on him.
Yeah, so he originally went to a different school. They tried to convert him to running back, but he wanted to play wide receiver. Stayed at wide receiver. Transfers to Purdue. They convince him to move to running back. So he has those receiving skills. I mean, 6.3 yards per attempt. He's elusive as heck. He tested outstanding in all of his agility. So he's got that cut ability. And he's also a really good returner too. So in this new return game, he's kind of a fun player to add.
Yeah. Athletes are intriguing for these NFL teams these days because you can get creative. And the more creative offensive minds you have on your staff, it's often running for these teams with these kind of athletes. That sounds like what you're saying, Tyrone is.
But honestly, I feel like, that being said, he has 1 year experience at running back, and they need a full-time running back. And I like Ray
They could also look at free agency, see if anybody's cut during camp too. Yeah. So there are other avenues. I don't know how loose Jerry Jones is with being up with it with these kind of stuff, but they do have other opportunities as well.
I mean, I know that this is round 3. I think this is a place where Braylon Allen and maybe even Audric Estime go.
Yeah.
Who I also think are really good running backs. Audric Estime hasn't tested as well. I know a lot of people love him based on his film. I haven't watched him as much. Braylon Allen got the Derrick Henry seal of approval. He's huge. He's really a Wisconsin. I mean, 6'2", 245. I mean, he is like a Derrick Henry build. My one thing with him is that I feel like he doesn't have the greatest vision. I feel like he just runs like a hammer and just uses his sheer will. But I mean, look, he got 1,300 yards, 1,000 yards last year. I mean, he's consistent, and I think that would translate right away.
Yeah.
So at this pick, do you think running back is like? I feel like they need it. Like, they're trying to compete.
I think they need it. I think since they haven't gone running back yet, which is, I think it's also to their advantage, this is probably the spot to do it, I guess.
I don't know. I like Braylon Allen just based on their needs.
Okay.
Like, I think that they got a lot of great running backs, but I think if you're looking for a bell cow, Braylon Allen will be your guy.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Sweet. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really love. I don't want to be tackling, or playing against.
Right. Yeah, you got to get over that.
We're helping the Cowboys here. We're neutral. Well, not really. We kind of hate you guys, but we're covering you. So end of round 3. Honestly,
Braylon Trice is good value. I know they might have already taken an end.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, they need more.
They probably could take another.
Yeah, let's see who's here for the edges. Ooh, I know I love Mo Kamara, but I feel like Braylon Trice is more of a pick here. And he's fast. He runs right at you. Like, I feel like he really hasn't developed his pass rushing moves yet.
Yeah.
One of the biggest knocks on him. But Dan Quinn has been able to get a lot out of even Micah Parsons wasn't a traditional edge, and then they moved him to traditional edge. Like, he developed and is one of the best players in the NFL right now.
Quinn, of course, defensive coach, defensive minded. I think the value's there too.
Oh my god, I think Braylon Trice could go.
I think that's really the reason you take him here, among other things. But I think value just sticks out like a Thor thumb with the 100th pick.
All right, we're going Trice. All right, Tyrone Tracy off the board. Even though we went Trey Benson, man.
I was going to say, you guys already took a running back.
I know. Dude, honestly, I could see us going in a million different ways.
Sure.
Ooh, wait. Did I put tight end on? No. This is just how the board is falling. All right. And there's a safety there too. I like Cameron Kitchens. I really like Jared Wiley, especially because news broke today. Kelsey Plum and Darren Waller are getting a divorce. But you want to know it didn't break? If Darren Waller's going to play in the NFL next season. So, but this guy, Jared Wiley, is kind of similar to Darren Waller. 6'7", 260. He's athletic as heck. Like a little bit thinner for his height. I don't know, actually. That's first look. They should show the neck tattoos, man.
I agree.
But no, I like it. I mean, like no production, in the early parts of his career, but 500 yards in 12 games. Like if you're getting a tight end in this round, that's kind of what like solid production. But that being said, I really like Cameron Kitchens too, and I think that would be a steal in the fourth. And I feel like it's kind of been like safety. It's a weaker safety class, and I feel like it's been they're going to be falling into the fourth round.
It seemed like
you go.
It seemed like Kitchens had second round grades a few months ago, and he's fallen obviously because his Miami Pro Day wasn't great, other things too. But of course, there seems like a lot of intrigue from where he started. So, fourth round. What is this? The fourth?
Fourth. Yeah, I think you take a fly. And that's a bigger need for us too.
Right.
And we already got a cornerback because Caitlin Carson's also very intriguing. But I like Cameron Kitchens here. This moving, and that's somebody that safety in the third round too is something that I'm looking at. But if you can get Trey Benson in the third and Cameron Kitchens in the fourth, I love that. Eagles, you are on the clock. How do you feel, man?
I feel great. Interesting, interesting name to be on the board there. Who says
you don't need him, but
we don't. But with Jordan Davis not really being available all the time. So what do we have? We have Mims, we have Cooper, and we have Pearsall.
Pearsall, yes.
Okay.
Pearsall. I like that draft. Hey, dude, maybe because these are all players that I really like myself.
Yes. You can follow. That's a good draft. Let's look at defensive end.
Okay, I know. I was just highlighting Tommy Eichenberg because I know you already got Cooper, and you have Nakobe Dean. Yes. Who else is still?
Howie certainly would not double, especially this early at that position. So let's just be happy he somehow took Cooper.
Hey, that's cool. Edge here. Oh, there's my guy, Mo Kamara.
Yeah, Mo Kamara, of course.
If you start going down, there's I don't really love it. Do you take it? Listen, you guys are still relatively deep here too, though.
Yes,
you got Bryce Huff, you got Nolan Smith, and you got Josh Sweat.
You do kind of have to replace Reddick, so I'm leaning towards Kamara, but let's just look at the cornerback room.
Yes. Okay.
Let's see what we got going there.
So, Chow Smith-Wade, more of a slot, but I think he's a pretty solid slot. Chris Abrams, Drain. I'm not going to lie, I was just hearing about this guy on the PFF. They were talking very highly of him. Okay. Run defense is cheeks, but the coverage grade looks really good. And Missouri, play good teams.
Let's go down the cornerbacks list just a little. There's a name that I am thinking about.
Ooh, DJ James. I've seen him higher, but I can see DJ James. Keep going.
Maybe a few more. Yeah, I think he's already been taken. We'll take Kamara. DJ James, he's the one who botched that coverage against Alabama, the Iron Bowl, which I loved, of course. But
and he's also 165 pounds. I think he put on some weight.
Oh my God. He's small, dude. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. So I think we'll go Mo Kamara.
Mo Kamara.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, Colorado State, I believe he had 14 sacks last season. Yeah, 14 sacks, just like a beast.
Mm-hmm.
6'1", 250, so he's not as long, but fast.
Resembles Reddick in a lot of ways, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Mo Kamara.
I like this draft.
Oh, damn, look at our guy here. Unfortunately, Commanders don't need a linebacker, but Jordan McGee. I've been hearing a lot about Jordan McGee. I've been hearing
yes.
That's like their thickest position. What they went Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, and then they still have Jamin Davis.
I listen.
But hey, it is the
they
fourth
need talent everywhere. And Bobby
Wagner's not sticking around.
I think that's a 1 year kind of thing too, at most. But yeah,
for fifth round.
What else do they need? O-line stuff, guards probably.
There's a lot of good linebackers here. Yes, definitely guard. I'm just looking kind of at the board here.
Yeah.
Also, tight end, like we said.
I know. I want him to the Eagles, though, but
I know you. Well, let's look at the other tight ends because there's, Jaheim Bell, Owen Hawker. I've talked about him a few times. I feel like Jaheim Bell though is a good prospect. I feel like, he's definitely lighter.
A little small, but of course. There's intrigue for that because of his ability to move as well down the field. So, yeah, it's up. I think the tight end makes sense for Washington. We're not missing anybody. Who do they have right now?
Logan Thomas. Zach Ertz and Logan Thomas. But I feel like Logan Thomas is 32 now.
Yeah, me too.
A little clicking. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he was hurt half of last season too. It's yeah. He is, 32 actually. Well,
there we go.
Yeah, I think that, especially your draft as many weapons as you can for your rookie quarterback, and I think Theo Johnson is obviously the pick here. But if you want to see, I think if you're also the Commanders, you want Theo Johnson.
I think either or, and I think I would understand Theo Johnson for sure.
And he's also top of the board, and I think if you can get him in round 5, I don't think he's dropping to round 5. But I'm sorry, Jeremy.
It's okay. We'll find a way. I don't know if we will. It's going to be tough.
Right. Commanders back to the block. They need a Emmanuel Forbes clone and a very late small player. Probably not. They already went wide receiver. Where do you think?
Corey's good value, I think, but obviously they don't need.
Ooh, there's some good interior guys here that I feel like when you have this depth. Yeah, I think Zach Zinter's good.
Zach Zinter too.
I know Bo Limmer is a freaking draft crush of Bobby Skinner and Justin Penix of Talking Giants. I'm not gonna lie, they talk so highly of this guy. And he played with Ricky Stromberg, who they drafted last year in the third round too. Which I think, if they were successful in college working
counts for something for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Familiarity on the offensive line, chemistry, if you have something in place from the start.
Yeah, and he played guard last year too, because they have him listed as center, but Ricky Stromberg was center. Yeah. And then Zach Zinter, Michigan O-lineman. They had one of the great O-line. That's why they were able to play the style of football that they were able to. I kind of like Zach.
You pick.
I'm going to go Bo Limmer because, you know what, he played with Ricky Stromberg. Even though I don't even know where Ricky Stromberg's going to go because they picked up Tyler Biadasz.
Yeah.
He's a third-round pick last year. I thought he had a lot of intrigue. I don't know. Maybe it's just
maybe they have to develop him. The Eagles took Steen in the third round last year too, and they just have to put in a little more work, more time.
Fair, and they also, they got Nick Gates from us. Oh, look at that! All right, Eagles on the clock.
Oof.
Return guy, Anthony Gold.
Yes, we already took a receiver though. I don't think Howie would double.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I have a cornerback? I forget. Did I take a cornerback already?
Cornerback. No, I don't believe so.
All right, let's look at the cornerback then.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we were looking at DJ James, I believe.
Yes, because I had defensive end last, right? Yep.
Yeah. Do you know anything about Kamala Haddon?
I don't. I remember
he got injured, but
Alabama, yeah, when he played Alabama.
Yeah, he actually didn't play bad against Alabama either. If you look at these grades, but he played really well this year until he got injured. So, and also, like, you still have James Bradbury, you still have Darius Slay. Obviously, you drafted Kingley.
You're getting younger too in the corner, which is a big thing.
So you don't really need him to step up this year, and if he's coming off of injury, he needs to get back into it. I kind of like Kamal Hayden here. Or Kalen King. Although he's, he was like, everybody loved him going in. Like, he had such a great year last year when he was playing opposite of Joey Porter Jr. And then this year he just fell apart, man.
Yep. We'll look at safety.
Yes, we shall. I don't know why I'm doing that. Safety. Remember, we got James Williams before, which I was. I was listening to Connor Rogers, and he was saying that James Williams and like Tyler Owens, they're like people who would convert to linebacker. He's like, what, 6'6"?
He will not be a safety. Yes, he won't be a safety in the NFL. Yikes. Can we look at defensive tackle?
Heck yeah. Let's get the DI here. And I think you can't really go wrong with like depth at defensive tackle.
No doubt. The Eagles are a team that loves trench players too, regardless. All right, let's look at best available.
Best available.
Another Miles Murphy.
Dalton Hooker. And the thing is, so he's kind of like an H-back too, though. Like he's like he can play like fullback, and I feel like you guys really haven't utilized.
Yeah, the Eagles haven't used. They haven't used fullback in a minute. When they did, they always loved the star ones like Leonard Weaver and Dorsey Levens. But Holker,
look at this. Like he's a good receiving tight end. I mean, like 766 yards this year in 12 games. I mean, that's pretty solid. And I told you that story about how he broke in to the facility and like who keeps breaking into the facility, and it's him with his girlfriend or wife practicing with the jugs machine.
Right. Decent size, older side, but it's a position that's of needed in the 5th round for the Eagles. I don't think you can go wrong in trying him out. So we could go Holker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you guys lost Jack Stoll, dude. Is Calcaterra still on the team?
Yes, but I don't know if he'll make it this year. I think it would be very concerning for him.
All right, so Trevin Wallace is somebody that we had a top 30 visit with.
Yes,
love him.
But again,
this is what I've heard. Not a lot of people love him, but linebacker wise, behind Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden, who I love. That's why I'm not targeting a linebacker in the first 4 rounds.
Yeah.
We have Darian Beavers and Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons, who's but he's kind of like that hybrid safety, And trust me, if we play Isaiah Simmons more in the box, like I said, Shane Bowen did with Hooker with the Titans, I could see Trevin Wallace, but
it's Wallace, the guy. He looks like an outside linebacker. Am I wrong?
Let's see. I think he's more traditional. I mean, he's
Okay.
he's kind of, and like his stats 6'2", 240. I don't know. I just
big size.
don't love it. Don't love it. But I would
Okay.
rather just stack up at. I feel like at this point of the draft, if there's somebody that could be like O-line depth, especially with our O-line in shambles last year, like
Yes.
give me somebody with experience. Give me Zach Sinter. I know we
You
talked about
can't go wrong with best player available, or one of the best players available.
And he was, and then Trevin Wallace is still here.
Yes. Okay. This might be trade time for the Eagles, but they're going to do something interesting. We're going to some interesting names. I actually think that. Ooh.
That's my guy. We already got our running back, dude.
I know.
love Isaac Rando, and I'll talk about him all day, dude.
Go all the way up. We'll attack the cornerback position, and
it looks.
I guess
very similar to
I guess here we'll go after Haddon.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like he played well in his limited games, but like.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing good schools. I mean, look, Alabama,
Yep.
Texas A&M, South Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah. Here we go. SEC. And hey, guess what? You're back. So whoever else you're looking at, they're here.
This is where we would be trading a pick. Let's look at we have not taken safety. Let's look at the safety
all right.
prop.
I'll be totally straight with you.
Yeah.
I know James Williams because we talked about him. I was just listening about Jalen Simpson too. So he's really light, but he has great coverage.
Interesting. He also went to Auburn, so he's stupid. But we could coach him up. Let's we'll go I took Mims. I don't know if they want to go. Let's look at defensive tackle.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, maybe someone will.
Logan Lee and Gabe Hall are two names that I've heard a lot about.
Those are guys who it seems like they're dropping.
Yeah.
McKinley Jackson too. I don't know. Let's look at best available now, and I'll make a decision based off that.
Jordan Travis.
Yes.
You guys got Kenny Pickett, dude. You can't.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett save your roster.
It's a QB factory with the Eagles. Okay.
I've heard really good things about KT Leviston from numerous people about him moving into guard.
Interesting.
About him being ferocious. Have I watched him? No, but I'm just doing these.
Right. Keep on. Let's keep on going down a little more. Yeah, there we go.
Punter.
Yes. The good ones are. Let's go running back, I guess. Yeah, they need one. We'll go with
Isaac Chirundo. This is the guy, I believe he ran the fastest. Who I love this guy, dude. 6'1", 225. I think he had the fastest 40 time out of anybody over 220 since 1990 or maybe ever. It was, it's been a while since we went over this. Not a lot of tread on his tires. Backed up Jonathan Taylor, didn't get the job. Backed up Braylon Allen, transferred to Louisville. But he's fast, he's strong, he's hard hitting. He's been compared to Isaiah Pacheco, who I think was a 5th or 6th round pick. And you're getting him in the 5th. You know what? And Saquon Barkley, let's be real, dude. This guy is not durable, man.
Well, we're going to ignore that comment. He is a little older. He'll be 24 in June. But I don't think the Eagles have to be concerned. I think a lot of teams too, running back wise with age, because you can be really flexible in every offseason with running backs in the free agency. So we'll go with that.
Well, at least I get to talk about him because if we don't go running back in the first 4 rounds, or even if we go with the fourth, like I really like Isaac Trendo.
Yeah.
Cowboys on the clock here. Maybe this is where they get Trevin Wallace. He's been.
We haven't
looking
taken
at
a
us.
linebacker for Dallas.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
It's been a long draft, man.
That could be a pick. I think Jordan Travis might be a pick, knowing Dallas's background. I think Trey Lance is kind of. Yeah.
I mean, they just spent that 4th rounder on him, but I mean, he carried the clipboard. Even like they had he wasn't even like the quarterback that would come in at the end of the game. It would be.
I know that's like he
name is surpassing me. Sorry, backup quarterbacks. League's full of them. Who is that?
Yeah, Trey's still young too. We'll be 24 in May, so I think they probably go Wallace here if you're Dallas.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing for the linebackers. Giants on the board, man.
Here we go.
Dude, this is where I'm really
Jordan Travis.
I know, dude. No. I think, like, I know people are like keep throwing the. I'll tell you who I would take it, but I don't think he's definitely not on the board. Yeah.
Yes. Milton, do it. Pull the trigger.
Joe Milton, dude. This is our last pick. If the Giants get Joe Milton just for the preseason, like watching him launch it. I know I live in Nashville. Tennessee people are not the biggest fan of him, but and I think we found a way to talk about him just because at the end of the draft, it's just like the names that you know from college, and it's just let's have fun with it.
It's a 6th-round pick. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a bunch of great tools, and just doesn't really know how to use them. So,
no doubt.
Yeah. Eagles here.
All right. I love, darn, good value at running backs. Yeah, and Dylan Johnson. That's okay. I don't. Williams is definitely a linebacker, so I don't know about that. Let's go defensive. To Elijah James drop it a little bit. Let's go. Defensive tackle. I assume we're gonna take someone there.
All right, boom. The 3rd best defensive interior from LSU, Jordan Jefferson.
Is Miles Murphy related to the Miles Murphy on the Bengals?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But it is interesting.
Yes.
I feel like it would be written right here. 6'4", 310. Big boy.
Okay. Let's I don't have much knowledge.
Yeah, I mean it's tough.
I think this is spot 2 where the Eagles try to drop some picks and because they don't want to take too many players, I think. We can go. Yeah, Jordan Jefferson. That's fine.
Yeah, Jordan Jefferson's the name that I know, and honestly, not as familiar. But here, let's pull it up. I mean, 70 grade, good run defense. I mean, you're looking for somebody to come in there.
Yeah,
at least be good at run defense.
One that has not been there for the Eagles. It sucks, and getting picked apart against a run is just miserable with this team when Jordan Davis doesn't play and teams feel more comfortable running the ball. So, not a little bad insurance late in the draft, and we'll see what would happen during training camp.
This is my favorite part of the draft where the Cowboys just have a bunch of picks. And they already went running back. I don't think they're going to go running back again.
You never know with that team, but
I like Christian Boyd.
Okay.
He's a name that I'm familiar with, and when you're in the 6th round, there's somebody that you've heard and that you've seen. And also, I think they still have Jonathan Hankins, I believe, but Mozzie Smith, I feel like defensive interior is still not the strongest area for them.
No doubt. And yeah, I agree.
All right. Let's be quick here.
Too.
Hankins is old. He was a Giants second-round pick years back.
Mm-hmm.
Years back. I mean, we've been through like the ringer since Jonathan Hankins.
Yes.
Let's see. Tyler Owens here.
If Washington needs a kicker, Will Riker out of Alabama, elite.
Yeah?
I don't know what they're.
Is it still Joey Sly, dude? I don't know. This is a quick. We should know this.
Well, it's such a.
Oh, Brandon McManus. Yeah, they signed. Yeah.
All right, no kicker for them.
Yeah, I like Brandon McManus.
Well, we should mention Temple Grad, of course. Nice kicker, but it's going to be tough to root for him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Shank him. Trying to see if there's any names here
that pop out.
Frank Gore Jr.
I think running back. I don't know which running back at this point. It doesn't seem wild.
Yeah, I mean, I know that like Austin Eckler has dealt with injury. Brian Robinson, obviously, I like Brian Robinson. I think he's a hard runner, and Christian Rodriguez even had some good.
Yeah, 3 good running backs, but I think I don't know.
Yeah, it's Jones. I don't know much about Carson Steele, to be honest. Would you just go Elijah Jones? You just keep throwing it. I mean, hey, Deron Bland was a 6th-round pick, was he not? I think he was.
Probably.
Yeah. I really liked his grade. Looks like he's been, he improved this year. Mm-hmm. Let's just do this. Top cornerback on the board. I feel like you take a shot at it. That's what you're doing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys have probably one of the top 3
kickers. Yeah, the Cowboys still need a kicker. This guy, everything is straight on from 60. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you do take Frank Gore Jr.
Maybe.
I mean, he's another little tiny guy to pair up with Deuce Vaughn, but I feel like he's a different style of runner.
I think Jerry would think that this is the actual Frank Gore, and he somehow is.
Frank Gore's back in the draft. I wanted to take him years ago.
Exactly. So he might get confused. Yeah, maybe Dallas does something there. This is sort of like we're in like interesting territory with picks.
Yeah, I just remember Bub means when I was like the combine was just on and everybody was talking about how great he was. Great of an athlete.
Great name.
Yeah. Bub
nice thighs.
Let's go Frank Gore. I think if you're a Cowboys fan, you probably want Frank Gore a little more, right? Even though you have Braylon Allen, they're totally different running backs, supplement each other. If Bub Memes is still here, he's going.
Let's just emphasize the junior on Frank Gore.
Frank Gore Jr., yes. I know for a fact we did Jalen Ford last time because we like more linebacker depth. He's from Texas.
Yep.
Honestly, we already got Jackson Power Johnson. Dylan McDaniel would not be the pick there. Sam Hartman. I forgot that he was in this draft. I feel like he just has not been talked about at all.
Well, I remember during the combine how people were raving about his hair. So he is in this draft for sure.
Yes. He's a football player that my girlfriend even knows about. So that's
there you go. That says something.
He's a big deal. Let's just do the linebacker, Jalen Ford. We're in the 7th round. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for still watching. Seriously, but you are sick. I was getting sick a little bit at the end there. I was like, who are these people? Let's favorite picks from this draft. I mean, we're getting there, man. Like, you're 2 days away. I love Rome Odunze. I like Trey Benson for the Giants. 2nd round, I think if you can get a cornerback that belongs in the 2nd round, going all the way to Max Melton, love Max Melton. I love that for the Giants. Commanders, Jaden Daniels, love it. We got them Javon Baker.
That's what the draft is about for them. Their 2nd pick overall. So, yeah.
I mean, that's like some people, like that's all they're going to be looking at is Jaden Daniels. The
They
second
will
round
picks too.
all in a good way.
They'll get better with their picks too, outside of Daniels. But this draft for Washington is about their second overall pick. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's, the future of their franchise. I think the board fell terribly for them because I think there's a chance that they can get somebody like Chop Robinson or Jordan Morgan.
Possibly.
I think
And if
one of those edges or tackles is going to fall to their pick in the second
and
round.
in a real draft with Peters, maybe if he's at that point, if he wasn't able to trade up, maybe just trades back. If he's at at a point where there are no man's land off their board. So yeah.
Because all the other the next tackles up, I feel like you don't even take until late second round, maybe mid second round. If you want to just secure that you get one of those tackles, if you like them enough.
True.
But
interesting dilemma.
Yeah, and Cowboys too. Cowboys, I think, if you're not happy with Jackson Powers Johnson, I'm sorry. Maybe you want one of the tackles, which I totally get because tackle is more of a position of need. Tyler Smith, though, played pretty well at tackle if you need to kick him out, and you could get one of these hybrid guys,
Yeah.
But Tyler Smith was also an all-pro guard, so it's like,
true.
There you go. Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And then for your Eagles, what do you think?
I loved every pick for the Eagles that I did. I forget most of them, but I will say with 22, 50, and 53, I think they have good. I think they'll be flexible around the 22 area again with trays. And I think having 2 second-round picks close to each other, 50 and 53, is a nice niche for them. So it's that whole, I guess, if you want to do a triangle kind of thing with those 3 picks, very intriguing for the Eagles in this draft.
Yeah, I agree. I think like with every draft, there's going to be a lot of trades, and I think the Commanders are in a good spot to trade back into the first round to really maybe secure that tackle that they want, because there's a lot of good ones that will be going towards the end of the first round.
Yeah.
And they have the picks to do it. They've been really stockpiling them. And I think if one of those edge rushers falls as well, I could see them pouncing on one of those top 3 edge rushers.
Absolutely.
And even Robinson, if they get scared. They have the ammo to do it with all those picks.
Yes, it's interesting because a lot of teams are going to be – I think that most teams don't have 30 players ranked in their first round. I think they look at the board and they say maybe 20, 22, 23 players are first-round grades. But if Washington wants to jump into the end of the first round just because, or if they really like Chop Robinson, they can do it.
Yeah. Hey, I like Chop Robinson. That's who I wanted until we got Brian Burns, and I'm like, Chop Robinson who? But hey, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. It'll really help. We're going to definitely do a recap after the draft, go over things. I'm going to probably be pretty intoxicated on draft day because it is my birthday, but maybe we'll get some pretty good live videos of my reactions based on how good or terrible it goes. Because if it goes terrible, it's going to be rough. It's going to be Dana Jones all over again.
Well, we'll try to get some videos if that's the case. I would like to say I apologize ahead of time. I know there's somebody that you have to take ahead of Mims or whatever. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah, and honestly, dude, it's not a perfect science. And I bet you some people who are in love with Mims, man, in love with Mims.
He's intriguing. Anybody's intriguing, especially when you have a guy like Stalin, like I've mentioned. But that's the reason why you have someone like Stalin, to look at someone who needs development but is so intriguing like Mims is. Might be a match made in heaven.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Jeremy, anything you want to say before we go?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Catch you next time. I didn't like that wink.